Today we're at Misty Mountain Games in Madison for another game of Bushido. Hello everyone and welcome to Gitsapalooza. Tonight I'm going to be playing Josh all the way from Illinois. Say hi, Josh.
Hello.
And Josh and I are going to play a game of Ryoto at 42 points. Why 42 points, you ask? Because people hardly ever play it, and we are planning on running our next tournament at 42 points just for giggles. So anyway, so here's the board set up. Josh is running temple, so we set up a nice little temple area. Unfortunately, I don't have my shrine finished painting yet, so the obvious thing to be out here is not out here. But we have a temple bell, and we've got the cleansing area, and we've got a little hikora in the corner. So, and of course we have some gates. So this will have to do. I will be back in a second, and we'll show you the armies. Here we are with Josh's temple army. Let's take a look.
So starting over here on the left, it's Kuma. He is a monk, one of the monks that is not a master. He costs 12 rice, which is quite a hefty bunch. He's one of the strongest fighters in the group, with his automatic stun that can happen at any point because it is an immediate. Also could be used as range defense or awareness. But relatively strong attacker and decent at defense with 10 health. Next is Master Po, who is another big fighter, big hitter. All his stats are really to either increase his attack or go complete defense. He's a 4/4 for attack and move, so it's quite strong, and he has 3 ki going up to 10. The only person who doesn't have that is going to be Kuma, who's a 2/6. Next is Master Ikuza, who's on the tortoise. He's I guess a scenario type guy. He removes one model from play essentially each turn if he's successful with a contemplation of existence, which will immediately exhaust them. And then last guy is last guy is Master Akari.
There we go.
The little trash panda. He is a very nimble little rat. If the dice work out, he can be quite lethal, but he is extremely defensive. Parry of 2, which is quite a glorious trait, and makes him very strong on defense. And that is my list. I'm taking the Righteous Warriors theme, which makes each of my master monks, the 3 of them there, 1 point cheaper, so I can do it in a 42-point list.
Very nice. Very scary. All right, thanks, Josh.
Yep.
Let's take a look at what I bought for the Tengu today. I've been trying to mix things up a little bit, so I'm not always taking the exact same list. So today we've got a little different than usual. So I decided to leave Bazenbo in the roost. So leading today's engagement will be Katenbo, who is my best Bushi, followed by Itsubo, who is another Bushi, and finally Hakuzabo, who is just kind of useful and interesting guy. I like him. My cleric, effectively, Ryohobo for rearranging ki, and for being tricksy, Torobo. So I really don't have anything really that is good enough to stand toe-to-toe with the good monks on the other side, but I'm flexible and maneuverable. Of course, he's maneuverable too, so it's not going to do me as much good as it usually does. But I did have some points left over for cards, so I have given Katenbo Hotai's coin to help him out with the dice rolls a little bit. I have Hotai's blessing to help the whole gang out with their dice rolls, and deflection, so at least I can pass one post-key test. And of course I'm running the Wind Watchers theme because I like it. Okay, we'll see you after deployment Actually, why don't we roll on camera for the deployment roll? I have a scout, so I get +1 to my roll.
I'm just base. That is a 6.
And I have a 5, +1 is a 6. So we tie?
Yep.
Let's try that again.
I'm at a 2.
I'm at a 5, so I will ask you to deploy first.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you in a minute. All right, both armies have deployed. Let's take a look. Here are the temple, pretty much in a line in the center of the table. The turtle is...
It's tortoise.
Tortoise. The tortoise is in a good position to take the friendly objective. We've got force on the middle and nobody directly across from the enemy objective. And then things are more or less the same on my part. I've got Torobo advanced deploying right over there. And then I've got everybody else kind of lined up. All these guys are close enough to Riohobo, my owl, to allow him to move key around. So anyway, so that's what we're looking like at the end of deployment. Why don't we roll for first turn?
All right.
On camera. I will try to...
I got a 6.
You got a 6, so it's your call. You want to go first or second?
I will let you go first.
All right. We'll see you at the end of turn 1. Here we are at the end of turn 1. Let's take a look. As you can see, both forces have moved forward pretty aggressively. We each have our own friendly objective, and a scrum is starting to develop in the middle. However, my little bit speedier and ability to ignore terrain, actually I guess it didn't really matter. I had some pretty straight shots. But anyway, I got more to the middle first. I did get charged by, who's Rocky? Master Akari, who, what's it called, where he gets the extra action?
Oh, Vitality.
Vitality. So he spent some key to get Vitality, and he charged the Subo. Unfortunately, for Akari, nothing really happened there. Nothing bad happened, just we belly bounced. And over here, Torobo shot Kung Fu Panda with an arrow, and once again, nothing really happened. So right now it's mainly positioning. However, I did get the center, so I got 3 points total to 1. So right now I have the advantage, but we still have one more turn before either one of us is going to score. So we'll see what happens. We'll see in a bit. Hello everyone, here we are at the end of turn 2. It was quite a bloody turn. As you can see, there are a couple of fewer models on the table than there were, especially in the center. In essence, combat just kind of happened in the middle, one after another. Josh got the initiative, so he pounded into me and ended up ganging up on Itsubo, who was right there, and killing him. And by the same token, I jumped on Master Po, who was here, and ended up killing him. So he took out my second best fighter. I took out Master Po. I have no idea where he ranks, but he's worth a good amount of rice. So I think that's where we are. I won. I got 3 scenario points again to his 1, so I won the first victory point, but there's a long way to go. So we'll see how these things go from now on. Josh, you got any comments?
First time Tengu, so it's an interesting matchup. The what is this? Tarabo?
Torobo?
He's a little bit annoying with his stun, but otherwise it's pretty good.
All right. Well, we will see how the next turn plays out. Here we are at the end of turn 3. It has been ugly and brutal yet again. Nobody's died, but people are starting to get beaten up. As you can see, basically, I managed to run Hakuzabu and at least start putting up a fight. He tired my Kitenbo out with its magical zap, which really put me at a disadvantage. And then in the center here, he just pounded me and pounded me and pounded me, and he got both Kitenbo and Tarobo, who's this archer guy over here, that one, down to 1 point each. And I guess Kitenbo had 2 left. But anyway, got them both down to almost nothing. And Rio Hobo, my owl there with the 1 wing, had to come flying in at the last minute and just heal the living daylights out of Kitenbo to get him back up to full. But unfortunately, those 2 figures, those two masters, are worth as much as all 3 of my models. So I don't own the center there. And he has more rice, but he doesn't have more models, so nobody owns that. And of course, in order to heal my guys, I had to bail. So nobody gets a scenario point for this turn because everything's neutral. And I'm a little worried Tarobo's only got 1 hit point left, so this could very well easily be his last turn. I'm just getting kind of slowly outdiced because he's got 4 and upgrades for 2, and it's just slowly killing me. But anyway, we're putting up a pretty good fight. It's interesting. We both think we're at a disadvantage, so we'll see how it all goes. We'll see you at the end of the next turn. Here we are at the end of turn 4 and the end of the game. Sorry to give you a spoiler, but in essence, what happened is once again nobody died, but there was lots of fighting and trying to tire each other out. I managed to get Hakuzabu onto this objective and tie it up so that he didn't get to score that one. Rio Hobo just healed the daylights out of everybody over here on my side and Kevin's. So both of my guys managed to survive. And so this is still, well, I guess this one's mine now because I have 2 models. Yep. Basically, there was everything got done except for these 2. And the one thing I did is I moved Rio Hobo back after he did his healing so that I got a point for this. And then this at the beginning was all still tied up. And that was tied up. So I had the scenario point, which would have given me a victory, my second victory point out of 3, which wins the game. And these 2 fought, and I put up enough of a defense that I could do push defense. Kitenbo's got push defense 0. So I pushed him back off the objective. So, and he tried to do this sneaky thing where I pushed him back, and then he was going to jump over and try to kill Tarobo, but unfortunately that didn't work because I could just kind of slide around my combat with the Trash Panda and re-engage Master Poe. Otherwise, it was a really cool idea. He was sitting there smiling and grinning and checking his card, and I'm like, what's he up to? What's he doing? What's he doing? But anyway, so what do you think? Yeah, your first experience playing the Tengu, Josh. What do you think?
Tarobo is quite annoying with his 8-inch stun. That put a lot of difficulty into things. 3 armor is no fun with no armor piercing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just couldn't do anything with that stun taking down a solid amount of my attack power. And then it was difficult to shred through 3 armor. I did pretty well, but he got the clutch heals in because my damage rolls were not beautiful in the slightest. And that's about that.
All right. Well, thank you for a very fun game.
Yes, thank you.
And it was a lot close. It was tense. It was a lot closer than the 2 victory points to none would indicate. Like so often happens in Bushido.
Yeah,
it's kind of one of the reasons I like it.
Had 1 or 2 dice flipped around, the game would probably be the other way 2-1 in all honesty.
Yep.
But that's Bushido for you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.